everyone. Thank you so much for tuning back in with me on Relationship Entertainment TV. I'm your host, Felicia Dortch, with the news you can use and the ish you don't want to miss. So I hope everyone's week has been great. I'm super excited about this week. My dynamic duo turned 14 on Friday. My twins, if you're not aware what that means, they turned 14 on Friday, so it's been crazy this week. They're wanting to hurry up and rush the week through, with the homeschool, the working from home, and dealing with all of this that's going on in the world. It's definitely 5 o'clock somewhere, if you know what I mean. So let's jump right into it. On Tuesday, I talked about flu shots and the importance of flu shots and how it's going to affect us during COVID. We have flu season coming up. Some of the world is cooling off. Not here in Houston. It is still super hot. However, flu shot is coming upon us. So you may have been getting little postcards or newsletters, phone calls, text reminders. The news have definitely been reminding us about flu season and how it's going to impact us during the pandemic. So just to give a little recap, on Tuesday, I talked about how they administer the flu shot, what it consists of, what the importance of, and how it would affect someone if they're already dealing with COVID or with any other type of illness. So my personal opinion, it would be important for you to get your flu shot and protect yourself at all costs. So I'm pretty sure you're trying to figure out where in the world am I going with this, because everyone is just over it at the limit with COVID. But this came about today when I watched the news, and on the news, they talked about an actual vaccine for the COVID-19 virus. And ever since COVID came out, or let me say when we were made aware of COVID, they were saying that they were going to hurry up and get a vaccine. The president was saying he was going to have a vaccine coming out way before the election. Also, then they're going to come out with a vaccine that would be before the end of the year. And of course, none of that has materialized, or yet the vaccines that they've came up with, the FDA is not wanting to back or approve. So if you're not understanding with an immunization shot, most immunizations, or I would say all immunizations, go through the FDA approval. And what that means is it's been through enough clinical trials for human clinical trials, let me say that, for it to be safely administered to us and to actually work in our favor. So just in case you forgot how the immunization shots work, it's an attenuated virus, meaning a weakened virus that is introduced into our system, and it builds up antibodies, which is our little army of cells that go out and fight and target that virus if it was to enter into your body. So on the news, they were talking about a vaccine. Finally, they were able to extract antibodies. Now, I am not sure and cannot safely say 100% that this was through a human trial. I do know that they're conducting trials on this antibody, and somehow they were able to extract the antibodies from the virus. So the cells that they tested it on, it showed to kill the virus. So what that means for us, that means that if this is an actual safe immunization for us to have that's going to help build up antibodies, then this is going to be exactly like all the other immunizations that you've had in the past, as well as like the flu shot. So my understanding, they would be when flu season rolls around, they would designate a time that you would get a COVID shot as well. So, I like to give personal examples. Now, personally with myself, I am a little concerned with how quickly it was rushed out. I do understand the concept from my medical background, but I still would like to see a little more trials, human trials, because right now, if I'm not mistaken, they are still doing animal trials. And I jokingly say to people that, I'm going to wait. You guys take the first round. I'll catch the next round next year. But what my concern is possibly them saying that you can't, your employer may say you can't come to work unless you have the shot, or the school system may say your child can't come to the school unless they have the shot. I do understand that the schools will do this with immunization. So there is a small group of people who don't immunize their children, and that is their right in some states. I'm honestly not sure about Texas, if that is law that you have to have the immunizations or not. But I know some people, I actually personally know some people that don't give their children the immunizations and they homeschool. And you're probably wondering, well, how does that work? They go out, they could be exposed, they could get sick. Yeah, that's the risk you take. That's the risk you're gonna have to take, whether you get the shot. If you decide not to get the immunization. That's with any of them, whether it be flu, COVID, measles, mumps, rubella, all of those. Okay, so you're probably saying, well, how on earth is this exciting news for us? Well, it possibly could be. From my understanding, the FDA is watching these trials and they're trying to make sure that it is safe for human consumption and it's actually going to do what it's supposed to do within our body, which is like I spoke on Tuesday with the flu shot. Once it's introduced into our system, then our body will do its normal job, which is create antibodies. And that's going to help us fight the COVID-19 virus, just like the flu virus would. I was asked the question, do I believe there are different strands of COVID-19 like the flu, or have they isolated the actual COVID-19 strand? That I'm unaware of, but I would love to do some research on that and get back to you with that information. However, with my knowledge, my medical knowledge, I would say that yes, they have isolated the strain that is causing probably the most of the illnesses. And the reason why I say it like that, because at one point, I remember in the news, we had one flu strain that was really dominating the flu season and was making people really sick. It was actually killing people, especially with people that have asthma or respiratory illnesses that can't really, or immunosuppressed, where they can't really fight off viruses. I am not aware of multiple strands of COVID. However, with the name of COVID-19 is different than the one that was in the 70s and 80s. So obviously it's a different strand. Conspiracy theorists say that this was actually a developed strand in China. So that's why I say I'm not sure if they've isolated a strand and that's what they're working their antibody or immunization off of. Not aware of that, not a scientist, but you best believe when I get that information, I will be bringing it back to you and letting you know. So my point of bringing this out to you is to make you aware of the options. Like if they are so close to having an immunization from antibodies, which is the same as the way they did with the flu shot, then to me, that's telling me that this vaccination, this immunization, it's coming quickly. And now I'm almost in the belief that it will be here by the end of the year, if not before. So the FDA is on board. So they are watching the trials. And once they give the approval, then they're going to find a company to do mass distribution. The company that so far that is involved is Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly is a huge pharmaceutical company. They're responsible for numerous amounts of the immunizations that we give our children now, that the doctor's offices give the children. It's usually Pfizer or Eli Lilly. So they usually work closely with the FDA. So that's why I'm telling you, now is the time to find out what your rights are. And, as I say with all of my broadcasts, it's always the positive aspect of it. And you're probably trying to figure out where's the positive in this. It's definitely a positive, because if this trial goes correctly, FDA backs it, then we have protection. And once the FDA gets on board, they have to produce the trials. They have to produce the results. They have to make the community, the world, aware of how many trials were successful, in humans, animals, and what did they test it on, how long did they test it, did the people actually recover. And then you have professional testers, I call them, that will actually go get these immunizations to see how it's going to react on their body. I don't know who in the world would sign up for that position, because I definitely wouldn't, especially from the medical side of it. I see a lot in the hospital. And people do have reactions to immunizations. That's just, it happens. You can have a reaction to anything. But I say this is a positive because if it is something that works out and has completed all the trials, it's backed by the FDA, it's mass distributed, and it's affordable, or if it will be covered under the insurance where we can get it free, like most insurance companies do with the flu shot, you're able to go get your flu shot every year for free, then this is going to protect us from getting COVID-19, just like we're protected from any other illnesses. And this will hopefully bring the world to a little bit more normal state of being. Right now we have a new normal, you know, I forget everything. I'm just going to be straight up. I forget. I will walk out, go into the store and leave the purse in the house. True story. Or I will get all the way to the store and not have the purse at all and have to ask one of my children, hey, you got some money till I get home? So to have to remember to get my purse, to remember to grab my keys, to remember to grab my children, and then the mask, you know, that's a lot. And the funny thing is, I'm an operating room nurse, so I wear masks all the time. But to have to leave out the door and put on the mask, we don't put on our mask until we get in surgery. So this has been different for me as well. And not only remembering my mask is now I'm double duty on making sure my children have their mask, making sure they're not touching things outside, you know, and then rubbing their face, or, you know, making sure they're washing their hands more than what I'm already saying on them to do. So this is a positive. So we can able to, I'm not saying to go out and never wash your hands again, but it would release some of the pressure that we're under right now. It may be some people that are not working, and maybe once this happens, we're able to go back to work into the actual building in the workplace, or enjoy some of the entertainment that a lot of us are not going to, like basketball games, football games, or just being with your friends, or able to have an actual party without counting the number of people. And then even if you only have 10 people, you're spacing them out all over the place. So you're really not engaging like you would any other time. So that's why I'm looking at it as a positive. I haven't really thought it out as to if I'm gonna go get it. And I think it'll push my thought process if I find out that I have to. And when I say have to, meaning my company won't allow me back on the premises without it. I don't have to worry about my children because they were homeschooled before the pandemic even happened. So that's not my concern. But I think I will really start to look at this and follow this trial to see how it's going to affect me and my family. And I'm definitely going to follow it and let you guys know for my Relationship Entertainment TV viewers to just see what we're working with and give you more news about it. But I do feel like this is a step in the right direction. I'm really hoping for the best out of it so we can hopefully get back to normal. So I really hope that this helped you today, and I'm trying to stick closely to what's going on as it relates to us right now. And I would love some feedback. So till we meet again on next Tuesday, I'm Felicia Dortch with Relationship Entertainment TV with the news you can use and the ish you don't want to miss. See you later.